Hi, Bevan Bird here. In this video, I will show you a way that I found to find smart money wallets to track, which can give you confluences, like you can see on this chart here in BullX, just as an example, because I've been tracking some wallets for a while. So then we can see these early buyers of other coins that they profited on in the past. That's where I've labeled that there, Vine, early 11. We can see some buying and selling. You can set the symbol for each one. We won't go into wallet tracking in this video. We're just going to go into finding these wallets. But one thing that I will say about wallet tracking is that I allowed other people, like traders, to find me the coin, the chart that we just looked at, rather than me finding it. It's right here. So if you're on BullX, yeah, if you're on BullX in the wallet tracker, I've got 223 wallets I'm currently tracking, but I'm going to be building it again from scratch. Um, so if you go to the following inflow, then we can see here for this one, three wallets are in it, or three wallets bought it, and the amount of buying and the amount of selling. 10,000 buying, 12,000 selling there. Okay, okay, the first thing you can do for finding these wallets would be to go to colscan.io/leaderboard. Go to this website and get the top profiting KOLs for the last day, the last week, or the last month. And we just put the mouse over one of those and right click, copy the address. All right. And so then this address right here is the address you could track. So you could just put that into your tracker. I'll just show that for BullX. Add wallet. I'm in the wallet tracker. So that's over here on the left side. You just click on this add wallet button and put the address in and you can label it. That one was, I think we've already got that one. Yeah, so I just copied it. Here's Cupsy. So I've already put that one in. You would just type in the name. And when I add this, it says this one's already in. That's okay. Okay, so I've given you one resource so far. Now we're going to find some smart money. I'm going to give you one free one first. Okay, so in Telegram, this Seifu tracker, if you go to announcements, you can then read about each of the different types of like these different channels in here. So you might want to look at like early calls. Just read about all of them because if you want to scalp quickly, you might look at the bot users one. There's early calls, crypto Twitter, alpha traders, and so on. Okay. So this one's free, and we just need to have a link to this. I'll just put a link to that below this video. Okay. Uh, so, Solana Smart Money VIP. So this is a paid service, and if you use the free version of this, it'll be delayed by 90 seconds, like a minute and a half. Okay. So this is what I was using earlier today, to track some wallets. And over here, you will see in my wallet tracker these ones that I added earlier. The ET, it was just like the T was for test. And so there's a few here. And these ones, well, I'll get to that, right? But these other ones were ones which I believe they were smart money that bought a certain coin. Anyway, so here's what we'll do. So we'll start with one of these. Let's just say this one, for example. Okay. And so you can do this for free also, right? So if you're not using this VIP service of it, you will be able to do this. It's just it'll be delayed 90 seconds. So you can still do this in order to get the data, right? And find smart money wallets. Okay. So I've just clicked that link to look at this one. This is what I generally use, this platform, GMGN. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just go to SolScan for this specific coin here. Another way to do this would be just to find coins which are trending now. So we won't do that right now, but I can show you that like with some simple filters. Okay. So what I'm doing here is just going to find that buyer. I'm just trying to identify that specific buyer that it showed me here because it doesn't tell you who bought it. It just says that a smart money wallet bought 19.8 SOL of this coin and at this time. So we just take note of that. And earlier today when I was doing this, I actually wrote it down. Like I put it in a notepad. So at 9:16 p.m. my local time there. Okay. So what we do on SolScan is click DeFi activities because we want to see the swaps and then go to value. Okay. So 19.8, like Solana is at 195, right? So just to have a kind of approximate idea of how much that is, right? $3,800. If I just put a value of at least 3,000, that will work here. Just make sure you put a smaller number than like the thing that you're going for. Okay. And then what we need is the right time, right? We're just going to go back to 9:16, this of someone buying Rexon at 9:16. Okay. And then this is showing in UTC time, which is 8 hours ahead of me. So it just has to say like 5:16, like right here at 9:16, and that's 21 minutes ago. So like right here. And there it shows that amount. So that's how I found that one. So we just copy this address. If we want to look at that wallet, we'll do that, and I will show you that now. So I go on GMGN about this address and get some information about it. So we found that smart money wallet, so that's good, and I'll add this to my tracker. But first, I'll show you what I do when I look at these if I'm assessing a trader, right? Of do I want to track this trader? Because maybe I didn't find them by this method, right? Right here, what I did is I'm reverse engineering it because I don't know who they're tracking, right? So they're tracking these smart money, so-called smart money wallets, and I go to the big buying part because I want to see when they buy large amounts because we want to enter with size and exit with size. But the thing is that this doesn't show me when they're selling, it only shows me when they're buying. So I want to be able to track them myself in my own wallet tracker and then add the confluences, right? When I'm on a chart, I want to be able to see who is buying and selling and how much, right? And what they've still got or whatever. Just get the information and be able to get into things early and have extra confidence, right? Because of the extra confluences of seeing certain profitable traders what they're doing with a specific coin at that time. So we're just going to build our list of those traders. So that's why even if I wasn't finding it like the method that I just did here, where I found like a certain one which they are tracking, right, as a smart money wallet, right? You might do it a different way where you just find that a coin is pumped and then you decide to find certain people who bought like large amounts early at a certain time. And we can do that too, but that's not what I'm looking at right now. But if you were to have done that, which I did do earlier today, when you're looking at this wallet, you can kind of assess it. So I'm going to just show you that right now. So I switch it from 7 day to 30 day, right? I look at the last 30 days. I want the win rate to be at like 30 to 50%. I don't want it to be really low. If it's like under 30%, then I don't want to track that wallet. And sometimes if the win rate is too high, it's suspicious. Some wallets that have a high win rate, they got to that point and then they got a lot of copy traders, and then they know they have these copy traders and they may just dump on their copy traders. And so then they might almost have like 100% win rate or 80% or whatever. And we can see how quickly they're buying and selling. It's another thing we'll check. So win rate, I like it to be 30 to 50%, right, or more, but not too excessive. And then here we in the profit, right, of the last 30 days, you can see this account is up 1.3 million. But one thing, a warning about this platform here is it may not give you the truth. Maybe there was deposits which increased this, right? So we can't go by it completely. But don't worry, because when we add this wallet in and track it in Bullx, we can get more information about a wallet that we're tracking. And we'll do that in a moment because I'll just kind of show you what I do when I the process I go through when I'm checking a wallet to see if I want to track it. And then we'll just add this wallet to to the tracker, and we'll look at kind of some information there, like a chart, a P&L chart in Bullx. Okay, so 30 days win rate, right? 30 to 50% usually. So then we got the profit amount. That's good because we don't want that to be negative. We want it to actually be a profit, right? Not a loss. And this is like how much that the account has gained by. But as I said, these things may not be true. Okay. So then the next part, I go to recent profit and loss here, and then it's sorted by last active. This is what I look at first. Okay, so when you look in this first column, you see that little warning there, insufficient liquidity. It's like you're not able to trade this thing. So that was like a rug pull. They pulled out the liquidity. Okay, like scam tokens. So we don't want to have a lot of those. So some percentage, right? So I would say like if it's more than 15% or so of what it's traded recently, then I wouldn't want to track that wallet. You can see that most of these are not the no liquidity, right? Because you have to use position sizing and proper risk management, right? So the size of each trade limits the risk because of limiting the size of those trades. So you look at, I look at this, and so this looks pretty good because most of them are not that. If you see it with a lot of these, then that would be a red flag, and I wouldn't track that wallet. Okay, so that was the first thing I checked there. Then looking at how long it held them, right? Because if we want to track wallets that will give us confluences for what we're trading, then we want to track wallets who are trading in our trading style. So you need to know how you trade. And if there's too many times when it holds for so little time, like here it shows you can very quickly, you know, how at the beginning we look at the win rate and the profit amount, and there's also this profit percentage. But I don't care too much about that as long as it's maybe like up at least a few percent. Because if it's a large account, then it could be up like 3%, but still have made $100,000 in the month or something like that, right? So I look at how much has it made as a profit, and the win rate needs to be like 30 to 50 or more, but not below 30. So I also look at this stuff in here. So if they buy and sell within 10 seconds too much of the time, like this is 6% of the time, if that's too high, then we wouldn't want to track it unless you're going to be buying and selling really quickly. If the win rate is really high, like 75% or like near 100%, then they could have so many copy traders and just dump on their copy traders, right? And so then they don't need to hold very long at all. Okay, but so what I do is, as I showed you, I look down this column, right, for the that little warning. Then I look down this column of how long they held it for the recent trades. And if there's too many that are like too short, then I won't bother. This one looks fine to me. I like it. And I'm down with doing, I'm like good with scalping. Okay, and then you can also then sort it by realized profit and just see the best trades. Oh yeah, I've skipped a step here. Okay, because we have last active on these pairs. So we looked at this little warning. Then we looked at the holding duration. And so if you can eliminate the wallet at any point, then you would eliminate it and go on to another one, right? And I'm saying this is fine. Okay, and so then I look at this in this column, like either total profit or realized profit. I just look in this total profit and then just look at them recently. We can see the time here. So this one was 5 days ago, SSE, and you can see here this profit, 105,000. So just seeing the profits and losses and like how much they are, just kind of looking at that to see this track record recently. I look at that. That's kind of important to look at. And then say we sort by realized profit. Now we can see their best trades. So these are just the best trades. It's not based on chronology now. And so then we can go to the charts, right? The coins that it made the biggest profits on. We can go to those charts and we can find top traders on those if we want to. Certain kinds of traders that made reasonable or like significant profits on them. So this is one way to make this iterative where we can just find recent things that have pumped and find traders on them, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, but a good thing to do if you're digging deeper into this trader and how they trade, you can look at the things that they've made the biggest profit on. How long did they hold that for, right? We can see that here. So even one of these big profits that it made, it only held for a minute on this one, but on Jelly Jelly, it held for 2 days, right? You can see how much they bought and how much they sold. So this gives you a lot of insights into the kind of trader they are. But to go deeper, you can see how do they trade it? Well, we can, if you click over here, we'll just go to that chart. But if you click kind of more over here, then we'll see their trades. And we can scroll back. Now there should be buys back earlier than this. Maybe it's not showing me all of it. Okay. And so another thing you can do, I'll just do it here to show you. So I'll hold down Control and then click on Jelly Jelly there. So we open that chart. And then I'm going to copy this address here and then go to this chart and I'll add to the URL question mark maker equals and paste in that address and hit enter. And then we'll see their trades. You can do this with Dex Screener too. That's where I first learned it. So then we'll be able to see their trades. Change it to, I'll just change it to 1 hour candles first. Okay. So that's cool, right? Now we can see that trader's trades on it, the buys and sells there. There's also the dev buys or the dev buys and the dev sells. But we are seeing the buys of that trader, right? And the sells. We see when they happened. Because recently we've been a lot of things have just pumped. Hopefully it doesn't pump too quickly because that doesn't help, right? We want it to go up in stages, and that's better for traders to get in. But we're seeing a lot with the one pump and then just selling off after. But some actually go up again and so on, right? This has just been selling off so far since then. But there are traders that have made a lot of money on it, right? Go to traders. And then like top ones I sort by realized, and then these ones made the most profit. But like put the mouse over them, right? Hover your cursor over it, over the address here, and then you can see like 7 day win rate and stuff there. So you want to see like a reasonable win rate and like also a profit. So I won't even go into that one, right? Although they could have had a better month, but not a good last week or whatever. But anyway, I just kind of look at this and they're 40%, right? Because we want like 30 to 50. So that one didn't make a lot of profit though. So it's only barely broke even. So we don't really need to look at it. Even though it made 1 million off of Jelly Jelly, it didn't make in the last 7 days, it's almost only broke even. But I mean, this looks pretty insiderish, right? Because it's only $455 in and then made 1.6 million. So, I mean, we can look at it if we want, but what we generally want to look for is like something that um, buys. You can also see the number of transactions, right? So, like a small number of buys, small number of transactions is simpler, right? But it's okay if there's a lot of sells because that can be like selling it off gradually over time instead of just doing big dumps. Okay, so like this one, see $21,000 in, 1 million out, right? Because making this bot amount larger, right? Not just like under 1,000, like 200, 400, 700, right? If it's actually multiple thousand, like that one's 8,000, this one's 21,000 that they bought, then it shows they had more conviction, unless they're just a whale and like it doesn't matter. Um, and they ape with size into many things. But let's just take a look at that one as an example. And you can see the win rate. It says like 1 in 3. Let's just check. Let's just check that one. So I copy the link address and look at that one. And then we're just looking at another trader, right? So I just showed you a way to find a top trader, right? Because we went to the top realized profit, and then we're looking for certain kinds of traders, right? Um, if it's one that bought quite a lot of it, then um, it's a different style trader, right? One that bought 300,000 of it and sold 1.5 million, it's times five, right? And so they're doing it with more scale, more size. If it's 8,000 in and 1.5 million out, then it's like they got in really early, right? So you can check whatever you want. You can decide which ones you want to check out. And then we look at this wallet and I switch it to 30 days, right? Now we're just doing the same thing. Win rate, so 30 to 50% or more. And then so check, right? And it's up 3.6 million. That's what it tells us, right? We'll check it in BullX. So up 3.6 million. And that was up 58% from what it had. Okay. And so this is good, right? And also consistency, right? Check the days. Well, there's a bunch of lost days in there too, but there are some really big profiting days, like Trump over here, I guess. I'm guessing Trump, Melania, whatever. Okay. So remember, then we look here, look down this, and there's like insufficient liquidity. You can't even trade this thing, right? So that was a honeypot or like rug pull. So you don't want to have a lot of those because if we're tracking this wallet, like I'm not talking about copy trading them, I'm talking about tracking them so we get insights from them. We can see what they're doing and they can bring us bring coins to our attention. So it's cool. Plus we can see multiple different traders trading the same coins. So, so this is good, right? Because there aren't a whole bunch that have like the no liquidity. So that was that check. And then over here, holding duration, right? So this looks good to me. There's some there under a minute, right? Um, but I mean, even I've traded things where I've gone in and out in just seconds, just because the timing is really good, right? So it depends on your style. And like it says here that for only 4% of them, it held for less than 10 seconds. Okay. And then I do this. I'm not going to do this whole process, right? Anyway, you can see how this iterates because now this trader that we found on Jelly Jelly is just one of them. You can pick, it wasn't the very top. It was just one of them, right? Because you want to make it more reasonable sometimes, not just like $500 to 1.6 million, but more like the 8,000 to 1.5 million or like 20,000 to 1 million, right? Because then it's not as extreme but you're finding because what we want is consistent profitable traders, someone that has made profits on a lot of different things. See here, recent profit, sorting by realized profit, top profited coins, like top profiting trades. You can see that here, and you can see when they last touched it, like how many days ago that they last touched that coin, like buy or sell on this account. So you can see all these profits. So that's good. They could also have losses. You can flip the whole thing over like that and see the biggest losses too. But that's why we want to see the win rate, and we also want to see that it's actually total profiting. Okay. So yeah, it iterates because we find coins here, and then we find top profiting ones on those and so on. But we want to focus on the smart money, so we'll go back to that. First, though, I'm just going to take this wallet and add it to the Bullx, yeah, the Bullx wallet tracker. So that was one on Jelly Jelly, right? So I'm adding that one in. I name it, I paste in the wallet, we add it. It wasn't one that I already had, otherwise it would have given me a warning. Now if we can set the symbol too. I'm like just gonna make that an apple for now. And then we click, yeah, you just basically click somewhere in this line and you'll get more information about this trader. So that's why I'm saying you can do this as long as it passes certain tests that you care about here, then we can just add it just as a test and then look at this. So this P&L, right? I like looking at all. You can see that it's increasing its profit. So that's good. We just want to see that it like we want to see consistency and increasing the account, right? Growing the account. So now because this is more than a million, then I tag it with MM for multi-million because I have like a couple different tags. So that's what I do there. And if we want to track this one, we'll add alerts. We'll get alerts of this. Okay. So looking at this, that's one thing I look at, that chart. If you want to see what they were most profitable on, click here and then sort by P&L down. And then you'll see like what we were already seeing on the other in GMGN, we're seeing that here. And also, if you want to know what they're in right now, active positions is current trades. And so just sort down by remaining, we can see how much they have in dollar value in these coins currently. So it's in this trade. All right. So we know this one's in this trade. So now it showed us a new coin, right? If you go to trade history, you'll see what they've most recently been doing. Okay, so it's in this trade, but it didn't recently trade that, so we don't really know when it bought it. That doesn't matter right now. Okay, so we just added that one to it, right? And over here, this is just showing me, we could filter though. Oh, okay. Um, it's just showing me the recent transactions by any wallet that I'm tracking, but I have like 224, so there's a whole bunch, right? If we go to this, then we'll see coins that wallets are trading. So full send, this is where we started, right? From my tweet that I put up earlier today saying, do you want to see this method? I'm gonna, that's what the method is what I showed you on SolScan, right? So you already have it there. Um, so full send was that coin that we were looking at that chart. You can see there's 21 wallets. If you want to see more than just the ones here of most what has been most recently interacted with, bought or sold by the wallets I'm tracking, those are in here. If you want to see kind of more than just this, click on Monitor Square. The interface has updated and changed recently. So that's why we're seeing it like this, and I like it. I think it's cool. So you can see here full send over here. These are different. It's just moved, right? So over here, these are different wallets that I'm tracking, right? And how much they bought, how much they sold, how much they're still holding. Remaining is how much they're holding, and it shows you the percentage. So that's percentage of the total supply. So this one has like $31,000 worth of this coin, and that's 0.06% of the supply of the total supply. Okay. So most of these are out of the trade, but actually some of them are in it. Like that one's got 30,000 in it, and this one has 250,000 in it. But this one got in later. It didn't get in as early as some others. Okay, so let's just look at the chart. Oops. Now because it moved, I got on a different one. That's okay. We can also go to it from here, right? And see these are new. This is a newer coin, like with a smaller market cap. This one here. We won't click on that right now. We'll just go to full send just so you see like what I showed you that brought you to this video in the first place, probably, possibly. Um, yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna put these to like 5-minute candles now so you can see the bigger picture. And so earlier today, I noticed that this had pumped, or it was pumping. Basically, it showed up in this VIP smart money tracking, right? And I looked in big buying, and so I found it in there. And you can see that some smart money is still buying it recently. That's like 12 minutes ago there. 56 Sol, a 56 Sol by some wallet, right? We don't know which. Well, we can check and find that wallet, and then you will have that wallet too that you can track, right? So, but then we have to look back that much, right? Like 12 minutes, but that's okay. Okay, because we can filter to the size of that, right? So I'll do that, but I'll also let you know that earlier today, um, so I decided to, as I told you, I decided to find those smart money wallets so that I can see their buys and sells. Well, we're able to do that now. They're on the chart here, right? Well, some of them. Okay. But what I also did is I thought, what about getting into the trade earlier? Now, I don't think I can just turn off these. I don't know how to do that. So let's ignore that. It doesn't matter. But we can also look at this chart on GMGN if I have one of those open, and I'll just open it anyway. So if I copy the contract address, then I can just open it. Okay. That's how you do it. You go to GMGN Solana token, like a Sol for Solana token, that address. We'll see that chart. I'm not tracking wallets in here. So anyway, I just looked on the chart and decided like where I would want to get in more, right? And find some wallets that were getting in that window. And then I went and searched for those on Sol Scan like in a certain time. So I went to a time window and I went to see because it had this pump earlier and then it started to pump again and then went up more rapidly, right? And smart money buys of large amounts trigger more buying and like a rapid price change, right? So it was high volume, like rapid. price movements. But we want to look at getting into it earlier because you have the early part, like accumulation, and then the markup, and then distribution and markdown. And then if it's going to go again, it's the same thing again, accumulation, markup, and so on. So this part is markup here. And so getting into it early is more like buying in this dip or in this dip or like back in this dip. There's also the concept of how the price got to here, pulled back, and then we get a big green candle that closes higher than this, right? Same here. So it got to this level. Actually, we're going back earlier, okay, because I'm looking at the market cap, and so this was actually I might have been looking at a different coin. Not sure. Doesn't matter though. Okay, so right here we have a big green candle that closes higher than this, right? But then it also pulls back again, but that like sweeps liquidity, right? Fake people out and like catch the stop losses. Okay, so notice that when the price got back up to here again, and there's this big green candle that closed higher than this, then it does also continue the uptrend after that, and that's what we want to see. And you can see it again here, right there. Okay, then the price went higher a little bit, but it is a rapid change in the price. Yeah, so I think that the coin that I looked at earlier was actually a different coin, because what I was looking at was something with a smaller market cap. So we can go and check that out. Right now we're looking at this chart though. Yeah, so actually I'll just pause and see which chart that was. Okay, I'm back. Actually, it was full send. I was just looking in the wrong place because I didn't realize because I haven't been looking at this for a bit. So it's like it pumped again, right? This is much bigger. The first one is only to like 25 million market cap, and it dipped in here to around three and went up to 81. So this is great. One of the runners of the day, right? And sometimes it may not go to 100 million. It might just be 10, whatever. You have to remember 1 million, like places where people take profits, 1 million, 5, right, 10, 20, and so on, 50, some level, 75, 85, or whatever, 100. Okay, 1, 5, 10, 20. Remember that. 30. Okay, so yeah, what it was earlier, I looked back, see smart money, I got the alerts of smart money buying it, and I guess it was going up or it already had gone up. There's something in here or whatever. And so I just went back and I'm like, so I decided on 2:30 p.m. to 3. Here's my notes. It says 2:30 till 3. So when you look at the chart, you can see 2. Oh, I've changed the mm, no, this is what it's supposed to be. Okay. I said 2:30 till 3. So that would be over here. Right. Okay. See, so basically because the price jumped up here, pulled back, and then got back to this level again. And so I'm like, okay, so who bought from like 2:30 till over here? See how it went higher? It like went into an uptrend, right? It did this, got back to this place, continued higher, pulled back again here. So this is the 1 million, right? Pull back. And then notice how it then goes above this, and there's a big green candle here too, right? And so I said, okay, till 3 o'clock. So it was like from here, 2:30 till 3, right? But what you can do though is just change it to UTC because we need to see it. I didn't do that the first time, but now I'm giving you that step here now because I did this another time, right? So I put it into UTC because we need the time in UTC for SolScan. Okay. So here I identified that I would want, right, as we said before, so it'd be like from this time to here, right? That's what I wanted. So anyone that bought in that, and I put those times in. So on the 12th of February from 22:30 to 23. So we click on this right here, Sol scan for this one, and then we can sort to that time also. So the thing I do of this is we just find a recent buy, but going back to that time is what we'll do in a moment. So remember finding these smart money is the first thing. So 56 Sol, and it's like 100 and 195 or so. Okay, so over 10,000. Okay, so we just click on DeFi activities and then go to value, and I'm going to put 10,000 or like 9,000 or something in order to just get ones that are over that amount, dollar amount. And then we're just looking, we have to go at that time too, right? So at 9:47. Okay, now it's a while back. It's not 12 minutes ago. It's more than that, like 23, 20, 24 minutes ago. Okay. So we can just go back a page, or we can even change this page number here to whatever to jump back far enough. So it's going to be at something 47. Okay, so a little bit more back. So we're only seeing large transactions, see, over whatever size. Now you could also put a max if you want to put a min and max. Okay, so here we just go back another couple minutes. So we just want to see where it says 47, or it may be just very close to that. So this is in that minute. There's one. So this one bought. See, some of these will be sells. That's a sell right there. But this is a buy of over 100 Sol, like 107 Sol. That's over $20,000 worth. This wallet bought some. So you can find more wallets, but then we have to check them out. And some of them are named, so you might want to check those. It could be KOLs. You might want to check them, or you might not. It's up to you. But like this, if it's larger buys, I'd be interested, right? So like I'll just check this one here. Now also taking profits is important, right? So you might want to check this one, right? They were taking profits there. And that's how I got into this another idea of what I did earlier, which I can show you. Because first we're just finding this smart money buyer. We just find one that's at that time, that's this amount, and identify it, and then we can track that wallet, right? Then I was like, what about those that bought it early? And that way I can track those, and they can, help me to find things early as well, right? Because when we're tracking them, it's going to show me in my wallet tracker, it'll start to show me coins that different wallets I'm tracking of getting into. And that's what we're seeing here. Instead of us like looking at new coins that are coming out, or like ones that have graduated, or whatever strategy that you're using, or like if you're just going to like trending coins that are over a certain volume, right? Like this, for example. But you could change the amount of time and whatever. So we're not going to look at that right now. But whatever you use to get those coins, instead of finding them and then deciding and the timing and then trading them and stuff, instead of that, we're letting someone else find them, and then we're just checking from there. We're looking at the chart and checking from there. But we also have confluence, extra confluences from these other traders. But we only want to track profitable traders. So that's why we do filters before we add them to our tracking list. So you can see here now a new one, like it's new to us, right? Because I haven't seen this yet, but now 6 wallets have traded this, and there's been $5,000 worth of buys and 2,000 of sells. That's an example, right? So having the wallet tracking brings these to your attention without you having to do the work. And sometimes it can get you into something really early, but we don't, but the buying higher is more risk, right? And buying lower is better. And you can see when certain wallets buy a dip and so on, right? But anyway, that's all at your own risk. Okay, so back to this process, right? This is just an extra one, just a bonus. It's not this wallet, right? It's just simply an extra one. So I can copy that address, go to this GMGN, like that address, and then just check it out. I'm just adding that one. So going back, I may have to click that again because of the time that's passing, and then then it may not be there. But all we're doing is looking for this 56 Sol buy at 9:47 p.m. So, but it shows up as 5 a.m. the next day because it's 8 hours ahead. So it's just going to say whatever hour, five in this case, 47. So we're just looking for that 56. That says 56.43, but it says 56 here. So it could be a different one. It may not be that one. Here's one with the 56, and it also shows 132, same wallet. It's probably this. I'm pretty sure it is. And I found that wallet earlier as well. Okay, so you just copy this address and we would just track it because it's if we trust that it is a smart money wallet based on this thing, then we can just start tracking it. And if we want to assess that wallet, we can do that here. Okay, so I switch it to 30 days, and then we check win rate 30 to 50 or more, right? Up 2 million. And see, that's only 6%. So there's a lot of money, right, in the wallet. And here with this one, you can even see them on Twitter, like on X. You can click that link. So so anyway, that is an example, right? That's one of the wallets that this system, that the signal here is tracking. And I look at the big buying ones in it. So we can enter with size and exit with size. So we're adding them in so that we can see them buying and selling, right? So this one, I don't know what to call the person, right? I'm just going to copy the address and then we'll add it to the wallet tracker. If we want to name them based on something that they profited on, we can do that. Remember this thing? Looking at this, recent P&L, last active, scan for no liquidity like this. Like, so that's not the real virtual token. It's another one, right? It's one that has no liquidity. You can't trade it. So see how almost none of those are that? That's good. If there was a bunch of them, it'd be bad. And then the holding duration. And it's like, is it acceptable for your style of trading? And and anyway, we won't go through it all again. So if you just go by realized profit and see the biggest, well, this one made the most profit on Trump, Jelly Jelly, Melania, Mira, and so on. And if we just call it, well, it's actually Smart Money Wallet, right? If we trust the system, right? So I'll just put like Smart One or something. I don't know how many because I'm going to rebuild it. I'm going to start from scratch and try using it in Axiom because I hear that it is very fast, that it works very well. Here we'll just call it Smart One. It doesn't matter. And we can just, yeah, we can just add a symbol. Oh, right. It's not working because, yeah, I had a thing I had to move that was blocking this, but it's already in my thing. And if I go and export, if I just export all of them, then I can search in that. Like I could export as a file, but I could also select all. Uh, uh, yeah, see, it's just selecting. I got to click in here and then hit select all. And I copy. If I put that in a note, I can just search in that note for that address, and then it will show me, right? Then I'll see that it's right there, and I labeled it as one of the early Trump buyers before. Okay. And here it's telling me this is one of these smart money. So if I need to change that one, I can just change it. I can go in the list and change that specific one and edit its label, right? If I go back and find it, or from the download, right? I can export, get all those. I can edit it in there and import it again in the future, right? So whatever. But we might want to call them smart. Anyway, I'm building them again. Here you can see that I've added one and I put smart and then just a few letters of the beginning of the address. I don't know who it is, right? Okay. Now this one here, we found this because they had bought a larger amount. Like, well, it's not this one. It's just at a different time that was later. They bought a larger amount. If we look at this wallet, go to 30 days. Says 100, okay, 20, see 20 win rate, it's low, and then we don't want it. Plus also because it's loot, it has lost money overall. Okay. All right. So I've given you that. So the next thing, so what I had done, right? Okay, on a chart, right? So I had found a time window. I wanted to find some who got in earlier, and so I got in this, I guess, in this time here, right? So I put that time in and find buys of a certain size. That was the next thing I did. So I'll show you that because we haven't done that here. I decided to make them at least $500. It could be whatever size you wanted. Like say you want to make it 1,000. What I did earlier today is put at least 500, and we put the time too. Oops. Okay. Time. So I got to pick the date. If this doesn't work right, you got to zoom in or out in order to get the, like, I just hold down control and then roll the scroller thing wheel on my mouse because I needed to do that before in order to have this whole thing on the screen. Okay. So you just click on the date and then put the time in, and that's why it's if you make the chart in UTC time, then it will be easier. I didn't do that the first time, but we're doing it now. And it was 2230 to 2300. Okay. So we're just going back to a time window. You hit apply, and then the two, the latest, put the date. Uh, it was 2300. Okay. Okay, and that's close enough. Let's see if that works. The problem with this is I can't go into the future. Like when it's not exactly the future, but it's like if because for my local time, it's fine for this because we're going back to the past. But when we're looking at something that's close to our time where we are now, and I was almost like I'm on February 12th, it wasn't letting me click on February 13th, even though UTC time is 8 hours ahead of me and they are in the February 13th, but I'm in February 12th. So this thing wasn't letting me choose February 13th. Anyway, that's another thing. It was not a problem for what we're doing because we went back into the past to see who bought it here in this time and thus made a bigger profit or could have made a bigger profit. And because they're buying things like that and they're getting in early, we're finding those and then they may also find us other coins, right? Because we're making a list of traders, profitable traders that did that. So we just find them. So that's all I did. I put the value, at least 1,000. I put at least 500 when I did this, and I've made a time window. And now you can see 7 hours ago. So all these. So then we can see buys and sells. That's a buy because they swapped Sol for full send. And this here is a sell because they sold a certain amount of full send and got 7.5 Sol, like or about 1,400 US dollars. So we're looking at this time. I think we can just reverse this, uh, like reverse the sort of it. I think you can do that, but not, it's not actually doing that here, right? So we'll go to page three. In this case, there's three pages, and you could, if there's lots of pages, you could go up in here and then edit where the page number is, and then hit enter in order to jump to a completely different page, right? So that would just save time if there was 20 pages or whatever. So we go here, and then you can see there. So remember in the times, we're going from 2230 to 2300 UTC time. That was the window to find people buying in that time. So then I found these wallets, right? This wallet bought 8.7 Sol of it at this time, and so on, right? So we do that. And so that was the first thing. It was an idea, and I tried it and it worked. And I put them into my wallet tracker. And that way, if we go and look at that chart, you'll be able to see them on there. Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go here. Well, I guess, okay, let's just click on anything. I like tank, but I fumbled it way back in the day. So could have made a lot more money. But it doesn't matter though. Don't focus on that, right? Because there's always more opportunities coming. So now we're showing how to find the opportunities and find them sooner. And that's exactly what we're doing right now here. So we'll just get the contract address of full send and then and just put that in here in the URL. So we jump to that chart. So then you'll just see as an example that when I first looked at this, then I could see the wallets that I was already tracking on it. right? And I could see, well, any more that I added. But um, hmm, that's odd, right? Oh, maybe we haven't added them. This is strange because I thought that I added some new ones today and they bought early. I'm pretty sure because we were talking about this time, right? Not over here. What? Maybe I've maybe I've gotten really confused because here we're seeing them in here, and before I saw something. See, that's pretty strange. Maybe I got completely confused about this thing. No, no, that's not true. I mean, I'm seeing some of the wallets that I added in here. Yeah, see with this little alien. See, it says ET, whatever. So I added some in. Um, anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that on this pump, I think maybe we didn't bother going back to this earlier pump, but we were looking at them on this one. Strange, strange considering the time, but in my notes it says 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. and I'm pretty sure that, and I was looking at the local time. I hadn't changed it to UTC, and then I had to like add 8 hours to them. So anyway, that's what I was doing, but then now it's looking like it's here, which is strange. Anyway, let's not, focus on that. It doesn't matter. Before, these ones I didn't know about, right? So I added these wallets and now we're able to see them. And any wallet, you can put the symbol, you can put its own symbol on it so you can differentiate them. We don't want them to all be smiley faces. We want to see them differently. Okay. I looked at some other things today too. And if we jump to some other chart, we will see it and we'll see the different traders on it, right? Okay. So in the wallet tracker, you can see the new ones that I added there, and I did add these today. And see, there's a few that, so I went back to find that certain ones that bought in the window that I identified, right? At least that's what I was saying, right? And then, because that's what we were talking about, and I showed you this. Um, so it pumped one time, and this pump was um, it makes some good multiples. But then later it pumped again and went even higher, and that's great. Um, so anyway, while I was looking and finding them, whether it was in here, right, or whether it was back there, it doesn't matter, right? What we're looking at is I wanted to find people that bought in a certain window, and I did look at that, and I just showed you that we can easily do that and find some, right? Of whatever size you want, because I put 500 at least dollars, and here we put 1,000, right? But then what I noticed is um, that there's also some selling in that, right? I noticed that in that window, there was some wallets that were selling. You can see like this one here, for example. Um, see, so it took profits. It either took partial profits or sold all of it, right? And same here, we see some selling, right? And so then I realized, hey, wait a minute. Like there's also people, so it's good because we were able to find people who got into the pump early because we know the shape, right? We know that there's accumulation phase before the markup. And so if they get in and you know structure, you can know that there's certain times when it's smart to buy, right? And we talked about this earlier. So then I realized also while I was collecting some of those early buyers of this pump, right? I was like, well, there's also people who took profits in here. Well, then when I looked at those, and if we add them just as a test, and that's what I did. And so that's what these are here. ET was like T for test, right? So now maybe it was on a different chart, but from my notes, it looks like it was full send. Okay. So maybe the E stands for something else though. Okay, and the T stands for test. And so they actually they actually sold in the window where I was finding buyers. That's these ones, F1, F2, F3, F6. There's another one there. And you can see these different symbols. Oops. Yeah, see there. It's like barfing one. Okay. These different ones. So there's actually more. I haven't added them all here. And this is basically adding them as a test because we haven't checked all these wallets yet. We just found them, right? And then I added them in order to check them. You can see that it's actually has been losing money, right? So you still want to do that. You want to see if you want to test it before you start to officially track it. And if I'm tracking it, I could like turn the alert on, right? For example. See, because the profit is accumulating, it's going up. That's what we want to see, like consistency. Okay. So like on that one, you could see that it's going up. I added alert. I turned alert on, right? So anyway, in that window, I found some that had sold, right? And then I realized, hey, maybe they got in even earlier, right? And it's like, well, let's check them out. I'll try them as a test, and and I did that. But I'm not really sure what token it's on. Here it says that I was looking at full send, right? And I've got this I've got a screenshot there. Anyway, right? The time when I said 2:30 to 3 p.m. on February 12th, right? Just earlier today, the market cap was 600K to 1.5. And then at 3:12, the market cap was over 27 million, right? So that was that pump. And I wanted to find the buyers that got in this time so that you can see there's some really good multiples there. And that's what I was doing. So I went to SolScan, I found some. Um, and so at these times, there's ones that bought a certain amount, right? Because I said over $500. So that's why we're getting these amounts. So all these times, these amounts, these wallets, right? So if you want, I could share those with you. We don't know if they're smart money. So that's not what I was promising, right? In this thing. Now, while I was doing that, I noticed, hey, what about there's some cells in there? And I thought, let's take a look at that and just see. So there was four wallets that sold, and they sold these dollar amounts, like 2,800, 500, 500. It's all in the same minute. They could have been trading together, right? Or maybe one of them copied another, and another one copied that one because of the timing that it was, and also with the amounts, right? And I checked that. And so I just put those in as tests, and we can then see them on the chart. We can also assess those wallets or traders. But yeah, it was on full send. That's what it says in the notes. So then we should be able to see them if we go to any of those things. We should be able to go to that chart and see it. See, we can click full send. We can see that this one bought full send at this price and this amount. Oh, okay. Right. So they put $975 in, and it was this price, and then they're selling it there. And if I just click on full send, then and you can see that ET4, like the T was for test, and we have ET1 through 4, right, that I added there. Those were ones who sold in that window. Not all of them, they're just the ones that sold in a certain minute, those ones sold. There's other sells during that half-hour window. I didn't look at all those, right? These are just four of them, just as a sample, right? And remember, when we look at this profit, right, all time, so far on this wallet. You can see that it's going up, so it's accumulating and it's like pretty consistent. So that's good. I like that. I'll add alerts. Okay. So this ET4, right? I have this little robot symbol for it, right? Now let's take a look at the chart. If we go back, so it's strange we're only seeing stuff here, but we should see it back there, and we don't. So maybe I'm confused about the thing with the 8 hours difference because this time here Um, I mean, that's kind of like 8 hours difference. It's not exactly though, right? In my local time, I'm pretty sure that that's what this is, was my local time, right? Because I had this like this before, and and this part before the pump to 27 million, 25, uh, it was two, yeah, here, 2:30 to 3. this early part. And so we actually found sellers in that window. We were finding buyers, then I added a few sellers because they bought earlier, right? And but then here we're tracking them and we don't actually see anything. So that's why that's very strange, but I can't explain that to you. Okay, so whatever, for whatever reason, that's what it is. But I did literally do that. But maybe it's because I added it later, right? Like I didn't add them back at that time, right? Obviously, it was later by the time that I did it, but that's no excuse, right? They should be there. So I'm not sure why that is, but we do still see them in here. That's some selling of that one. Yeah, it's very strange. Okay. But we should see the ones with F, right? F for full send. I put F1, F2, F3. I haven't put them all in there, right? But you can see right here, F6. See? So those are the ones I added. F1, 2, 3, 4. These were just ones that bought within my window. Remember? So I created this time. And then so this time is in UTC time, and it's in the evening. That's like 10:30 p.m., but that's UTC, right? So 8 hours before. Maybe maybe I've got the time wrong. Because see, I didn't switch because when I did this, I didn't change it to UTC time on the chart here. I had it like this, and then I had to subtract, I had to add 8 hours. So so I was like, it's two something, right? 2:40, right? 14:30. And you have to add eight, uh, and then it would be after midnight. Huh. In Yeah, that's pretty weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, I found buyers in a certain window, whatever it was. I added those. Those are there. You should then be able to see them. And in the wallet tracker, it does have F1 to F6, and FX is just another one I added. I didn't put them all in there yet. See, this one's six, so I haven't added these wallets, any of these ones over here yet, right? But then you should be able to see um, the buying and selling of them. Anyway, that doesn't matter right now because I did show you these processes, right? Okay. So what's another way? Okay, well, I showed you a free group, and I will give you a link to that. And then there's also the free version of this one, but we need to find the link to know where it is. This smart money monitoring thing. So this is the VIP version, but there's like a free version, and then it'll just be delayed by 90 seconds. So you could still use it to find those smart money buyers. There's Gary V token, right? I can click here. Now that's not a link to buy it right now. It's a link to go with the GMGM bot. No, it's to look at it, to look at the chart, right? So we can see it there, and then we can see that some smart money, whatever, some wallet bought 20 sol of it, and it was at 10:28 p.m. and that's 10 minutes ago, right? And you go to Solscan and we filter by at least a certain amount. It's like $195, 20 sol, so 3,900. And if we just say something over 3,500 or something over DeFi activities, right? Only that tab, and then we're going to filter value, and it's like at least we're saying 3,000 something, right? Not 20 something. I think so. Okay, because it's 20 sol. Actually, I might have to put 2,000 there. Okay. No, I'm right. Okay, it's good. So I put at least 3,000, and then we just need to go like 10 minutes ago. And when you put your mouse over this, you see the time. I got to go back a little bit more. It's going to show 10:38, but then the hour will be different. No, 28, right? There, 28. Okay. So this one is in the 28 minute. These ones all are here. But not that. So before this. So you can see that where it pops up, 0628. That's what we want, right? So you can just see here, 19.8, 20. So these are buys. There's two there. This is the one that matches it, 20. That's another one. Some other one bought it, and it's like almost the same time, but slightly later. So it's like some other wallet. We don't know who it is. Anyway, and so if you want, you can check them out. You can find more, but just to just find this one, we just go here and just copy that address. You can click on this thing if you want. I'm going to go and look at it here. GMGN Sol address and then and that address. And we'll add it. I don't know if I may already have this one. Could because I've started doing this process today. All right. Okay. So I'll go to wallet over here, wallet tracking, right? And I'll just like add this wallet. Smart 2. Okay. So it's already, yeah, it's already exists. It's in there. But we'd have to label that one as being a smart money wallet. Anyway, I'm showing you how to find them. So that's that. And I'm going to probably build my list again because when I started doing this a while ago, I didn't know as much. And then there's like certain criteria I wanted to add in to the wallets I track. So I would want to rebuild it, but I'm showing you how to build it from scratch. So I guess I'll show you another thing, which would be how to find, coins that are trending right now. Uh, because if you're starting from scratch and don't have any smart money wallets that you're tracking, then they're not bringing you these coins, right? Here it's bringing me these so I can see that like this one was in the smart money tracker, right? A big buying. I saw that earlier and so that was earlier today. It could still be good, right? We have to look at the chart and see the timing and everything. But here, there's some other newer ones that we didn't know about also. Like that, for example, only one of them bought that. This one here, six bought it, right? So if we want, we can check it out. So they're doing work for me, right? These wallets. But if you don't have any, you aren't tracking any, you can start from scratch. I already showed you this colscan.io leaderboard. So top KOLs by profit of the last day, the last week, or the last month. So you can easily check that. Maybe do last week or so, whatever you want, right? You check and just copy the address and then start tracking them. So whichever ones are making the most profits recently. I noticed that this guy he streams. He may stream every day, right, from Florida, and like a lot of people are watching his stream, right? And so you can learn from him too. Okay. And so this is cool because you can get the smart money wallets that this thing is tracking for free if you just get into this thing, and then find those and then just identify them. Then we'll be able to see them buying and selling, not just buying. And that will help so we can enter with size and exit with size. When smart money is buying large amounts or selling, we will know. Okay. So here I'm going to just go to GMGN and then find trending coins. Trending. Okay, now I'll add some filters. This is good for safety. I put all these on. I just did all for the DGen audits, all these. I also said insiders only up to 18%. Okay, but that other stuff is debatable, right? For now, we're just going to leave that. Now we also had here filter risks. I've got that checked and filter wash traded. So that's good. We've got these things checked as well. And then we'll go to volume. Volume is the most important thing. Okay, so things, if you want to go to coins of the last 48 hours, it's big pumps, right, that have happened recently. We can do that. Here it's like in minutes, so I put 2880. That's just 48 hours times 60. Okay, so I did that. I made this filter and put that in there for recent coins, right? But you don't need to do that. You can if you want, and you don't need to. Okay, so say we want to catch it earlier. Say, okay, so in the first 4 hours, right? Well, then that'll be 240 minutes. 4 hours times 60. So I'll put age up to 240 minutes. Volume. Okay. But then this is saying volume of 24 hours. That'll be fine because it will only have had 4 hours anyway, right? I'm just gonna put here 1,000, so a million. And we have the liquidity and market cap here too. So liquidity at least 40K and market cap 100K to 130 to 230 million market cap. Okay. So safer would be higher liquidity, like 100K liquidity or more, or 200K or more. But that's only if it's a higher market cap. Like it's not going to have that if it's a 100K market cap. But if we're looking for coins that are already over a, if it's over 3 million, for example, then then this would make sense, like 100 or 200K liquidity. Okay. Right. So we've addressed everything in there. Okay. You can look at this one. If a coin has a high market cap that's ridiculously high for the amount of, if it's new and it has a high market cap but not much liquidity that would make sense for that, then that makes it like a scam. That warns you of it being a scam. That's one thing to watch out for too. I saw that with something that was like hundreds of millions markets cap already, but it like it didn't have a lot of liquidity. Okay, so this is like 15 million market cap. Liquidity is 400,000. Okay, and you can see it just kind of jumped up there. Anyway, I'm not going to look at this now. All right, so let's go with now you could have, if you were finding little tiny coins, then you could have liquidity at like 10K or 20K, right? Small. So I'm making the market cap at least 100. If you want to filter out the bigger ones so you don't see them, then you can do that. So up to 10 million market cap. So it's 100K up to 10 million and liquidity is at least 20. I'm doing 20 there because of the 100K there. Okay. This one, oh yeah, this one I believe this D like Frank Degog's D jail, right? This one showed up in this wallet tracker. So it showed that some of the wallets that I'm tracking of the 224, it showed up in here and it showed that some of these wallets had bought it or whatever, or trading it. It doesn't show up there now. It might show up here. I guess it doesn't now. It's moved. I mean, it's not in there. Maybe they got out or whatever. Okay, so you can see the market cap of each of these here, and we look at the charts and whatever. But let's say that we want to just find something that has we're not trying to just find the coin and get into it. Let's say we want to find one that has pumped so that we can then find people who have traded it, right? Say we want to do that. So then we want it to be bigger, not so small. So then say it's at least a 5 million market cap and up to 230 million. So at least 5 million up to 230 million liquidity. So that would be like either 100K or like 200K at least, right? Put that in as a filter. And so you have volume at least this amount. We got the age there. We can take it out. Well, this is up to 4 hours, but let's make it up to 48 hours. So that was um, that's this number I gotta put in again, 2880. Or just 3,000, right? Would be similar enough. Okay, so now you can see the market cap of each of these, right? Looking at the volume and the market cap. The volume in the last 6 hours here. We could just change it to 24 because we're saying these are the coins in the last 48 hours. So here's the volume in the last 24 hours, right? If you want to find something that's starting to pump, or that might be pumping now, you could change it down to something like 5 minutes and then put a certain amount of volume, and then you'll find coins that have quite a bit of volume in the most recent 5 minutes, and you might find something. But that's just an aside. We're not looking at that right now. Okay, because what we're doing is these coins have pumped or they are pumping, and then we can find traders of them. So let's look at those. And I looked at, well, I looked at both of them earlier today, but Duo, for example, they were both in the smart money tracker thing. But let's look at Duo, and I'll just close everything so that this goes faster because it's slowed down because of them all being there. That will affect the memory and the speed. So I'll just close them all with one tab, and then we'll just have this one. these should actually close. I'm pretty sure that they are. Maybe we got to click it again. Okay, here we go. All right. So just look at it like this. It says it's only been alive for 5 hours. Okay, and it's dumped. Should we go and look at the other one? It's actually okay, so it went pretty big. It's one pretty sure it's one of the ones. Okay, that might just be another one that has the same name and it's not what we were looking at earlier, right? Because this looks pretty suspicious. Okay. Do I have the other? I've actually closed it, so we'll get that again. Oh yeah. All right, so Duo. Right. Okay. By the way, Nansen is another way to track smart money. And I'll give you another, like I'm not a member of that. Nansen. Yeah. No. Nansen. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So that's one, and you can like it's a thing you can subscribe to. And there's also so here's one you can use for free. I'll share this with you, and I've used it. This bull trade thing. Because it says that it tracks smart money and it has these AI agents and we can probably find smart wallets on it. I'll just show you what we see with that in a moment. Okay, Duo. Okay, I got to put some wood on my fire. Just a moment. I'm gonna pause it here. Okay. All right. So I'm opening up a BullX chart window here, and we'll just copy the contract address of Duolingo. If I put that in there in the address, hit enter, then we will see, or you could probably just search in there or something. Then you will see with any of the wallets I'm tracking, we'll see when wallets buy and sell, just to show you like how it can be useful. Okay, but you can see a lot of smiley faces, right? So it's not really set up great yet because they should have their own symbols. But you can see how certain wallets bought this dip, right? And then they could take profits over here, and that's good. And you can see how much, like the amount, dollar amount they bought and stuff. Okay. So this, what we did is, remember, we found using a trending filter on GMGN, we filter by volume and find coins that have the most volume recently. And also, we can see by their market cap that they've pumped up. And then we can find top traders on those, or we can, if we want to find, remember the idea I had of like finding ones that bought in a certain time window. So we're able to do that. And I showed you that with going to Scan and putting in time, like while I'm on the chart here, change to UTC, because then I can just read the time off if I decide um, that they bought in a certain window in here. Like we got to look at the market cap. I like using it with market cap rather than price, like because people take profits at certain levels, right? 1 million market cap, five, and so on, and 10, and 20. Okay, so you have to remember that, and so we want to find when they bought at a certain time, we can put that window in and find who bought over a certain size and just find those wallets and then just assess them. And so I think by doing that, you can find some profitable wallets. And I started doing that earlier today and I found some wallets and we can track them. And then those, we see them on the chart of that coin, but we also get to see what else they're trading and they bring things to our attention, right? In the BullX wallet tracker. That's why we see or you could do it on Axiom, and I can give you a link for joining Axiom. And so then you could see here, like any of the coins that are being bought by these wallets. Like here it just says one wallet, but this one has three, right? And we can click on it. And then we'll actually see which of the wallets that I'm tracking bought it and when they bought and when they sold. And that's what you get to see here. And if it's moving very quickly, it might you might switch to like 5 seconds, like this coin just going like crazy. But that isn't what's happening now, right? So we're ignoring that. Okay, I'm just saying like what actually happens when um it doesn't have to be brand new coin. It's just that the price is pumping up. Like there's a lot of volume. Smart money bought a large amount, and then other ones are buying it. You can actually see it moving. We can check that with Trump, but that's already at a high market cap, right? So it may not move much percentage wise, but when you have a relatively new token, then the moves are crazy, right? And that's why it's really cool. And we saw that earlier with some small coins that explode and then go to multi-million market cap. But before that, they were just in the 100K or whatever, like under a million. And even if you ride it from 1 million or two to up to five or up to 10 is also good. And some of them go higher. And we saw that earlier with full send. I guess it went to 27 or 25 or something. And the next time it went up to like 80 million market cap. So there's a good strategy maybe to buy a dip and then ride it up on the next pump. But the problem is that it may not go up again. Sajad says that if it drops by more than like 60% or something like that, see here, we're just measuring that down. It says 85%. See, so it did go down that much, but then it did go and pump again, right? But he was saying like if it goes down more than like 60%, then like start getting nervous. So that it's like because when you have a pump and then it pulls back, it 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 may then just have another it may be a smaller pump a third of the time or so. It may pump to 68% of the distance from wherever it went down to there. If we put this Fibonacci on it and go from up there, right, and put it down to where it went down to, then you can see um, this 68, 0.168. Yeah, 0.618. I mean, this line right here. So it may come to that level, right? Or it may go even higher than it was before, and then it may continue the uptrend of like this, returning to that, and then continuing. We can look at air fryer. Like you can look at air fryer guy, for example, from I think it was yesterday. So it's Gary V. This coin is new, right? We just saw it and that's why we are seeing it there. Now, this is more of an accumulation thing here, right? Buying Trump coin. It's like, see, it's larger amounts, right? Like 50 sol, 62 sol, 50 again, right? And you're seeing the time. This is just a minute ago. So we can look at the Trump um, chart and you can see that. So you can see how the price has just jumped up. So from 15.5 billion market cap, 17, right? There's a wallet called like Gabe. It's like Gabe or is it something with a GE or is it GA? Maybe GA. Can't remember what that was. Um, Gake. Yeah. Okay. So this wallet has a lot of copy traders, and when they buy, people, a lot of other traders also buy it, right? And so then you get a big candle. And that's not the only wallet like that. There's others too, right? Remember, there's that list of the KOLs. You can check them out. We can see what happens with them. I haven't put them all into my tracker yet. I just gave you that, right? Because it's something I just discovered from somebody else just recently. Okay. So like if we're looking at this one, we can see what they've just most recently done. So it's like we're tracking that wallet, right? We can see this here. That's 2 hours ago. Um, and it made a profit on this AK. It bought it and sold it. Bought and then sold into transactions. Um, but because it has so many copy traders, they don't have to work hard, right? There's different kinds of wallets. Some of them just dump on the copy traders. I'm not saying anything about this one specifically. There are others which are, brutal like that. Because when I first tried copy trading, then I didn't know that about it, and I didn't realize the time delay of when my transaction will go in and so on. We won't go into that now. That would be for another time. But I learned about that then, and then I realized if I'm going to copy trade something, then I got to make sure they're not just dumping on their copy traders, right? Then I got to make sure that they are holding for a certain amount of time, not just like a few seconds. So that was when I thought about that. But then I'm not doing copy trading, I'm doing wallet tracking, and then we find them and we're getting extra confluence because of these wallets that we're tracking. So yeah, you can see that this smart money buying Trump there, we'll put it to 1 minute candles, and you can see how it just kind of jumped up. Okay, if there are KOLs tweeting about something, and obviously they're trying to get other people to buy, they may be just bringing in exit liquidity, right? Just attracting people to buy it. If there's a lot of KOLs tweeting about something and the price is going sideways, then sell, right? Because see, they're trying to bring people to buy, but they're selling, right? So when you see that something like we can look at anything like this, or you can look at CAR, for example, that like CAR one, Central African Republic. So if you look at some big pump, then it's like, okay, insiders and like early traders got in early, and then they're selling and so on, right? And then with CAR, it just got sold after that. That's all that's happened so far. I don't know if it will pump again, but my point is it had a big pump and then it was just getting sold after that, right? So if you buy that late, then you just lose your money. But if you buy it early, you can make a lot of money. Okay. These are 1 hour candles, but I guess we can go to like 5 minute, but then we need to really zoom out and get this thing on there we go. So that happened a few days ago. Yeah, there we go. It's like February 9th. Okay. See, this went up to almost a billion market cap. Okay. Okay, what are we looking at? Okay, so I just kind of showed you that. Um, Now, prior, I just brought that up, right? So looking at that, that was like, I looked at this yesterday. Yeah. Okay. So here I thought, hey, maybe it will continue the uptrend. Okay, but it didn't. It's got sell pressure, like over a million, right? It went to 1.5 and it pulled back down to here. See, it's like at this point, um, it didn't go any lower and it buyers. Okay, we'll just pause a moment here and I'll continue in a moment. Okay, continuing on. So at that level, there was support for the price, and when it was back at this level again, it held as support, and then it started to trend up again. Sometimes it's like you're not sure if it's really going up because this can happen, and then it just simply then goes lower. But the air fryer guy is working with the Memecoin boys. He's real, right? He's working with them, and there's some good spaces. So on Twitter, right, or X, and so it then the price continued up, and he locked his tokens, and it went up here again, but then it still had sell pressure. Okay, and so now we've seen it. This is not huge yet. Now this may grow, right? So you can be early to it, but something that has um, pumped to a large market cap, you can find the traders on it, and that's easy to do. Traders, um, sort by realized, right? But we looked at this earlier. So there's different ways you can do that. Find the top ones. Could be certain ones with a win rate over a certain level, right? Because we can just see that with the preview before we actually go and check out more information about them. So then I check them out in the, like copy this link and look at it here. And then if it passes whatever I'm checking there, my criteria, then I can add it and track it or test track it in BullX, and I can just look at the chart over in BullX of its P&L and see that. And if it doesn't have that, right, if it didn't really make profits consistently, then I'll just take it out. And we want to see, oops, we want to see that it has profited on more than one coin, like on multiple coins. We want to see some consistency, a good trader, a profitable trader, right? Like a good win rate, 30 to 50 or more, but not too high. And then like profits, right? So we'll see that chart when we put it in BullX. But here we're checking that. And so when we sort, when recent profit and loss and realized profit, biggest ones, these are the coins that it made the most profit on. So this one's an anomaly because it made 2.7 million profit on CAR, but the other ones are quite a bit smaller. But anyway, this is what you can see, what it has done. So I want to see like multiple wins on it. Um, and there was a lot of losing days. But anyway, we can compare wallets and then decide which ones we want to track. It's like, did they just get lucky, or is it like, do they have a good system, right? Do they have an edge? Do they have consistency, right? And do they like apply their plan with discipline so that they do have consistent results? That's why we want to see like a certain level of win rate and actually being profitable. So we need to see that. Okay. So we're able to do that. So now I'll just show you Bull Trade. We won't look at Nansen, right? And I'm not a member of it, but you can do this thing here for free. Okay. So Bull Trade, bulltrade.ai. So it's kind of cool with the top AI score thing, and then we're seeing the score, and like this tells you all about it. Like if we put your mouse over it, right? So this is really cool, and it will bring your attention to certain coins, and then you can check out the charts. So for things that are strong, in say the market is down and is like really dumped today, we could go to the high hold value and see which coins have that of smart monies holding them. Tokens ranked by smart money holding strength. See, that's what it says there. And then here, number of smart traders holding this token and certain things. So it will tell you that and buy and sell them out. And there's also that AI score number in there. Um, but anyway, you can see like the size, like what's the market cap? That's this FDV, like fully diluted value. So you can see that in these as well as liquidity with it, right? And you can see what it did in the last 24 hours. So we're able to check and find cool things here. So this would be like strong coins because they have high hold value by smart wallets and like high volume buy. There's like a large amount of the smart money wallets that this system is tracking. They bought large volumes, right? So that's cool. So you can find them with this, and you can look at like low cap coins if you want or new listings and find riskier ones, smaller ones, right? That smart money is buying. I guess if it's on this website, then it should be that, right? So say we go to one of these coins. Now this is pretty small. The age is 2 months, so it's not new, right? It's just at a low market cap. Okay. So if it has a high AI score, that may be a good thing. Let's go to, okay, new listing is under 48 hours. So we could just look at that and see what shows up here. And it has its own chart. You can look at it. We could also go and look at that chart on GMGN if we're like I like it. I'm pretty familiar with it. That's where I trade also. But I'll be trying out Axiom. I just started and I'm going to try doing the wallet tracking in there. I've only done the wallet tracking in BullX so far, right? So we can look at the thing in whichever platform we want to, right? So this Dogecoin is only 2 out. Yeah, but see the market cap is too high. The fully diluted fully this thing is market cap. Um, fully diluted value is too high because it's in the billions, right? Which doesn't make sense. But the Gary V coin is new. It's a 1 million market cap, right? And here's one with 15 million, right? We haven't seen this, but this score is so low, right? Which makes it doesn't sound so great. This one's higher. We can just click on this and kind of see what it shows us. So you'll get a chart in here. But the cool thing with this website is that it's tracking these smart traders. So we can look at that here. When you're on BullX, you can go to top traders under the chart, just like we can do here on GMGN, right? Traders. and we're on all of them. And then I just sort by realized profit. And so these are the top traders. You'll kind of see the same thing on BullX by doing that, right? Top traders. But on this thing, on bulltrade.ai, we can go like top smart traders. And now it's not just going to be the same traders that you see like on GMGN, right? It's going to be certain ones. And so anyways, I kind of want to look at the chart first too. Okay, so I've got it's on price, not market cap. Oh yeah, but we know it went to 1 million market cap, so that's where it is right now. Okay, it's just gone up, pulled back only just slightly, and gone up again and pulled back slightly, right? So then there's risk in quite a bit of risk in buying that at this point here. And then if you wait for, yeah, if you wait for this to pull back and it goes into this one and then it starts going up, you could trade that or whatever. Maybe it goes to this. See, that's the thing. You don't know where it will go exactly. If we just go to the top smart traders, we can see a couple here. You can click on them. I'll hit control and click on it. So I still have this sheet, this page open. I'll just do that now just because that's what I would normally do because there would be more of them here. You can only see two. Normally there'd be more. If we like, let's try, we could do this with anything like Trump, CAR, something that's run recently that got into multi-millions. That would have been so full send, right? We know that went to 25 and then it went to like 80. Duolingo, it only went to like 15 million market cap, right? But notice this opportunity, right? First pump, and here 3 or 4, right? And then another time, an opportunity to multiply it, right? So we can look at that one. Let's just look at the full send one, right? In that, um, yeah, let's just look at that in this bull trade thing and see what it shows us. So I'm just pasting in the contract address up there so that we'll be on that one, and then we can go to the top smart traders tab and see what we get. But what we did with that new one, Rex something, some AI token maybe. So we looked at that and we went to smart traders and then we found this one. So see this thing, when it tells you about the trader, it gives you different information than GMGN does, right? This thing is different and it's kind of cool how it shows you this. So it shows you about their style of trading. Okay, so you can look at it like this, and so these will be different depending on the type of trader. And so some of them will have like a lot of profit and ROI and high win rate and stuff, and this one doesn't, right? But some of them will. And you can see the realized profit, the ROI, win rate 30%. So these numbers will show up differently for the same wallet address. It'll show up differently on this than on GMGN, right? We can also check wallets with other to, tools like this. For example, so this is one, yeah, we can do it with this thing, GMGN Smart Money Wallet. So you can get this by going on the GMGN site, and there's a certain place that you can that will show you this, and then you can add it in here. So if you just put the address of this wallet, this is a different one. This is that one I said, like uh, Gake, right? But the one that we just found here is this one. We can copy and paste that in here. Okay. Wallet X lets you do like 3 per day for free. And there's another one that does that also. This one though doesn't, I don't think it has a limit, so you can just use it. GMGN Smart Money Bot. So it's telling us about this wallet. That was the Gake one. It gives us this information, so that's useful. And then this is that one that we just found. It said it's a smart money wallet, but here it's showing that it's lost money, right? And if we, um, yeah, and if we look at it on GMGN, we will see different information. There's also another way to look at it, like bird eye, I think it is. Okay, but you'll get different information on that also. Okay, so I'm just mentioning that don't go into it in down into the rabbit trails. or holes, just just check it like what I did here, and it pass whatever criteria you have. Then you can track it like in Wallet Bullx or in Axiom, for example. And I use Bullx so far, right? And Axiom I'm going to use and try. So once you look at it in Bullx, you can look at that little profit and loss chart. So that helps. Okay. So what I'm really showing you here is that on Bull Trade, we may be able to find some more smart wallets and do it very easily because this system is tracking them for us. So we're looking at full send, and you can see that it went to 80 million market cap over here once the chart loads. Yeah, so you can see what it did. This pump up to like 25 or whatever, and then that one up to like 78 million, right? So there's a lot of profit potential. And then top smart traders can do that. And we could like, can't sort by these, so this is different, but we can look through it, right? And there's one that made the total profit was 200,000, and we can just click on it or hold down control and click to open it in a new tab. That's if you're going to find more of them, right? I'm just going to click on that one. But normally I would find multiple ones and like I could assess them. So we find this wallet and there's the profit. Oh yeah, so 30 days. So you could put it to whatever you want last week or last month. So last 30 days, here's what's in the portfolio, mostly Sol, right? You can see like what style of trader that it is, and you can see the profit, realized profit and unrealized, the ROI. So this is high, and win rate is high, right? 30 to 50 is good, and we want them to be actually making a profit overall, not loss. So that's what we see there. And you can see its best trade. Yeah, this is the trade it made that had the most profit. And that's how we found this one. It was because it was a I guess a smart money wallet. This thing tells you that it's smart traders, right? So it's one that made this profit on full send. So that's how we found it. And so say I check that one. We just found it, right? We can put it into here in this GMGN Smart Money bot and then just see what it shows us. Wallet X will tell you, it will give you more information too. The other one, I don't remember the name of it right now. It doesn't matter. That other one, though, will let you download the information about it. And so you can do three of them. But on the Wallet X one, the downloading thing also counts as a request and is one of your three requests for the day. But this one just lets you do it. But see, it doesn't give you a thing to download. I'm not sure what this thing does. Okay, that just opens it up like what we're doing over here. Oh, we didn't do that yet. Okay. Yeah, that'll be the same as what we do when I just paste in the address there like that. Okay, so we're able to see some information about how it trades. It looks like it got pretty lucky on full send, but it also made a profit on this Nelk Boys, which we know is a recent one, is something that happened today. There, I'll switch to 30 days like normal from 7. So it's 30, okay, 47 it says. It's 30 to 50, right? And up 200,000, which was 800%. So it's like this account grew a lot. Normally you don't see like a huge percentage though there, although some do. So then it's like, oh, it just recently got pretty lucky, maybe. Maybe not lucky though, right? It could have been skill. And then you look at this recent P&L last active. Check this thing. I already showed you this earlier though, but see how it doesn't have a bunch of them that have no liquidity. There was just one there. That's good because if it had a bunch, then it's like pretty risky to follow what they're doing, right? And then how long are they holding it? I check that. Okay. This one holds it longer. It's not just like scalping. And if you want to see the things that's made the most profit on, it'll show you that there. See, so it didn't make like big profits on a lot of coins, just full send. And then the other ones, 5,000 on Barstool, and then it's just a few hundred on others. But a lot of things you can find, a lot of certain wallets, you'll be able to find that they have made significant and like good sized profits on many different coins. And then that's the kind of wallet we want to track, right? So we want to find ones like that, and it's not hard to do because you can just anything that has pumped recently, all right, and got to a big market cap. We have a few of them right here. Oh, what was the other one? We were just, oh yeah, we added it, we put it in bull trade, right? So it was full send because we know that went into 80 million market cap, right? Even if it only went to 10, 20, whatever, right? So here's Trump, here's that CAR one. You could do it on any of them. You can go to traders and then like realize profit. We can find any, we can see one that didn't buy a large amount but made a lot of profit, right? And we can find them and get information about them. And when we're looking at that page, which is like this, for example, then we can, when we get to this point, right, and we just sort by realized profit in the top, it's the coins that it made the most profit on. We can see multiple successes. We can also then see how it did those trades and we can see we can look at any a cool thing is that things that it made profit on recently, if it happened recently, if it's something that ran recently, we can look at those charts and then just repeat the process, just like we were doing here in finding traders. So we want to do that with things that ran recently. Well, to find those, it's pretty easy, right? Because we can just go to trending coins and use a very simple filter like the most volume and find things that have pumped recently. And then you get into the whole process where you're finding coins that have pumped recently up to, multi-million market caps or like high, right? Even just 10 or like 100 or whatever. And we find traders on it. And then it just iterates, right? And so then find some good traders that made profits and they did it on multiple coins, track those in BullX or Axiom. I'm using BullX so far, and then use that to help you find new coins without you having to go and find the coins, right? So it will bring them to your attention, maybe even quite early on, and you can check those charts and trade them, at your own risk and only risk what you're willing to lose on those. So small position sizing and good risk management. Okay. Which might be like if you have a small account, it may be like no more than 10% of the account size in an individual trade. If it's a larger account, it might be only up to like 1% of the account. Okay, and you don't have to buy a large amount of those at a small market cap. But anyway, we're not talking about doing the trading. We're just talking about finding the smart money wallets. So I believe that um, this has helped you. I believe this video. So we were able to find this one. We looked at this. We're looking at we found out about it a bit here, and we can see that it didn't make profits on a lot of other things. It's just that, right? And if we want to track it, we can. But as I said, you more prefer ones that have made profits on more coins because it's more predictable. But you're able to do that when you find, yeah, we were looking at full send. That's just one of them, right? And it showed up in here. Okay. And you don't have to look at it on bull trade. You could do this just like on GMGN and find the top traders or whatever you consider to be good traders. And there are a lot more of them, right? Than the ones that they show on here, right? So you can easily find them and then you can find kind of the best ones and track them. Or just ones that are better than a certain level, right? Meet your criteria. You can start tracking them, then they'll bring things to your attention. Another thing you can do is even just search for wallets. Copy trade. Let's just leave it on all here and just search for wallets and just use a filter. So, but this is why I'm saying you don't want to set these criteria too high because then you get ridiculous ones, right? So let's put 30-day profit and loss at least $10,000 or like at least $100,000 profit or maybe at least 50,000. Let's say at least 100,000 and let's say it grew the account by at least 5% or it grew it by at least 10% or whatever. If it's a bigger account, then it doesn't need to grow by a large percentage to make significant money, right? And if it's a smaller account, it needs to grow like a lot. So if it's 125% or more, then it's more than doubled the account size in the last 30 days if you put that. But it depends on what size the account is. I'm just going to put 15% and the profit is at least $100,000 in the last 30 days. And win rate, remember we said like 30 to 50%. So at least minimum 30, and I won't go more than 60 on here. Okay, there. Now we see a couple wallets, and then we can just assess them. You can also see here number of transactions it did in the last week, and how many buys and how many sells. So that's good information. And then this distribution thing is really useful. Also consistency, right? What did it do each day? You find one that's like making profit each day, so it'd be green candles every day. So you can look for that. And like here, see, out of all these trades, one of them made more than 500 percent gain, and 13 of them were from 0 to 500% gain, and then six were a loss of up to 50% of the capital, and nine were a loss of more than 50%, right? So this is a win rate of 48%. So 48% of them were profit, and the other 52% was loss. But it's like seeing how many are in each of these categories is cool, but we get more information when we look at it on its own screen, because then we get like the over 5 times. We also have the 0 to, I think, 0 to 2 times, or like the 0% gain up to 200% gain, right? And then 200 to 500 and so on. So it's useful to see that. And we want like lots of wins, but not many losses. But it's like it's okay if the win rate isn't super high as long as they cut their losses, or as long as their wins are bigger and make up for it. That's why we want the overall profit, right? And I like to run this through those criteria as I showed you, and then just check the chart when I add it, because I'm like, oh, it passes certain tests, and I'm like, okay, I want to track it, or I want to potentially track it. I add it in BullX, then I just look at that chart that shows up there, which we looked at earlier. So we do that. So you've got that, and then if you have any questions, um, just leave a comment under this video. All right. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more content like this.